MMA Boxing Talk here, coming at you with another video. Just want to put out a quick video talking about some of the fighters that are from the New York State and the New York area. Because, of course, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever, um, the bill got passed for MMA in the state of New York. It's big, big deal. Big news. Now the UFC can, hold events at Madison Square Garden. It's huge, okay? And I just want to make a quick video talking about some of the fighters, some of the star fighters from the state of New York. Now, not all of them are still living there, but that's where that's where they're from. That's where their roots are, and they have obviously their biggest fan base is from where the state of New York. So I think there's 5 guys I want to talk about. Of course, pound for pound number 1, John Bones Jones is from Utica, New York. So he'll be fighting at Madison Square Garden before long. Obviously, he's fighting Daniel Cormier next month. I just put out a preview video for that yesterday, so check that out. But that's going to be a huge fight. But obviously, that's in Vegas. So, but John Jones is one that can fight in New York. That the UFC is going to want him on a New York card. You also got Chris Weidman. Now he's he lost his title to Luke Rockhold, but he's getting a rematch. That's in June. That's going to be in LA at the Forum. But look for him. Chris Weidman is another guy from New York. I think it's Rochester, but I'm not even sure. Don't quote me on that. But he's definitely from New York. And so he's another one, It was funny. Someone said, like, the rumors already, and the speculation and the, just what fans do and what the media does. But they're already saying, if Chris Weidman wins the rematch against Luke Rockhold, which, I'm not predicting. I have Luke Rockhold winning the rematch. Even though, personally, I like Chris Weidman more as a fighter. I am a big fan of Chris Weidman. I love his character. He's a true champion, and I do think that he will have a better fight in the rematch. I don't think he'll get as exposed or as cut up, as beat up as he did. Showed a lot of heart, mind you. But I still can't see him getting past Luke Rockhold. He is the real deal. I truly believe that he would beat a prime Anderson Silva. I really do. He just has all the tools, and Anderson, was not a multi-dimensional fighter. He was a one-dimensional fighter. He had his striking. He was okay at jiu-jitsu, but, we've seen guys like Chael Sonnen dominate him. What would Luke Rockhold would have done? You know what I mean? It wouldn't have been pretty. But anyway, if Chris Weidman happens to win, though, for argument's sake, then the rematch could be at Madison Square Garden. The rubber match, that would be really huge. But this is just, this is very highly unlikely. But you never know. Okay, and then there's a couple more guys I want to talk about. You also got Uriah Hall. Awesome striker, He's one of those fighters that, he never lived up to the hype of what he was at the Ultimate Fighter, the reality show. But he showed glimpses, though. He showed glimpses, especially in his fight against Gegard Mousasi. Check that finish out. It was very, very nice, very technical. Clipped him with a spinning back kick to the face. Stumbled him, wobbled him, landed a flying knee, which threw him into the cage, and finished it off with ground and pound. That was his biggest win to date. Mousasi, he's a solid fighter. He was ranked 8 at the time, but he lost. I think his last one. I think it was to Whitaker, but I can't remember. I don't have it in front of me there. But anyway, Uriah Hall's another one. He's fighting Anderson Silva in May. But look for his next fight, to be in New York. You also have Aljamain Sterling, a huge, huge prospect in that bantamweight division. That's Dominic Cruz, T.J. Dillashaw, Uriah Faber's division. This guy, he is for real. there's a reason why there's a lot of hype behind him, and he's good at promoting himself. Check him out on he's a charismatic guy. He's a funny guy. He's bashing Misha Tate's husband like it's no tomorrow. It's fucking hilarious stuff. Saying that he's scared to fight me. He keeps hiding under Misha Tate's tit and all this stuff. He said that at a press conference. It was hilarious. But he is for real. And, I could see the winner. Well, he's going to fight, someone probably sooner rather than later. And I can actually see the winner of Thomas Almeida and Cody No Love Garbrandt. The winner of that fight, which is going to be an awesome fight, May 29th, UFC Fight Night Vegas. The winner of that fight, Garbrandt or Almeida, could face Aljamain Sterling next. That'd be a huge fight. It's nice to see that 135 division have some youngsters. Aljamain Sterling, Michael McDonald's back in the mix. Thomas Almeida, Cody Garbrandt. These are young fighters that could challenge Dominic Cruz in the future for that title, or who knows if Faber happens to get a win, which I highly doubt. Or Dillashaw regains the title. All these guys are going to give those guys I just mentioned problems. I mean, they're solid fighters, especially Almeida. 20-0, 16 KOs, 3 submissions, only 1 decision. Check out him. Him and Cody Garbrandt. It's going to be a great fight. But so I said John Jones, Chris Weidman, Uriah Hall, Aljamain Sterling, and last but not least, coming off a big win against Hector Lombard, Neil Magny, who trains with TJ Dillashaw out in Colorado at Elevation Fight Team. But he's another guy from the state of New York, so look for him to be fighting, his next fight probably in New York. Maybe not, he's not a household name, but, he would obviously have a fan base there. All the hardcore MMA fans know who Neil Magny is. So, Neil Magny, his last 11 fights, he's 10-1, and that's in the last, 2 years. So he's very, very active. He's a huge middleweight. He's 6'3" with an 80-inch reach. And Hector Lombard, he hurt him definitely in that fight early on, but he weathered the storm. He has tremendous cardio and conditioning. But Neil Magny, he ended up, weathering the storm in that first round, and then in the second round, he landed something like 40 unanswered strikes. He was on top of. He was full mount on Lombard, and Lombard pretty tough. He made it to the third, but in the end it got stopped early in the third. But Neil Magny, another guy. So there's a lot of fighters in the state of New York. It's awesome, and obviously all of the other stars in UFC, of course. But the home fans definitely. The way the UFC works is that whenever if there's a fight over in Ireland, if there's a fight over in Brazil, or wherever, they like to have the card stacked with like all Irish or all Brazilian. In this case, all New Yorkers, or people from the state of New York. So anyway, just wanted to put out a video. Lots to look forward to. MSG in in the last bit of 2016, looking at November, we'll see. But that's going to be another huge card. So this year, like 2015 was the best year for the UFC financially. And you got to think that 2016 is going to blow it out of the water. You already have the 196 card, Diaz McGregor, which is, I think, tied or it might have overpassed UFC 100 for pay-per-views. You got UFC 200 in July, and then most likely Madison Square Garden at the end of the year. I mean, it's going to be and then there's the John Jones card. The card in Brazil in May is insane. The card in June with Rockhold Weidman and Dominic Cruz and Uriah Faber. I mean, this is just insane. I'm super pumped. I'm looking forward to the next few months in MMA. UFC's only getting better. Now UFC is actually legal in the state of New York. You know, it's a big deal. Madison Square Garden. But anyway, I've rambled on long enough. If you like the video, subscribe. MMA Boxing Talk. Peace.